Hello, everybody. This is Renault, and today we are doing another Celestial Edition deck building session. This time we are going to be building a deck out of Mantis Celestial, and the inspiration for this deck was I went to a Kotai, and not me, but one of my friends made the cut, so to speak, and made the top eight, and he wound up fighting a Mantis small scouts deck that was super fast. And so I'm going to see if I can recreate that deck. By the way, that was the year I went to 5 Kotai and got either ninth or 17th place in 5 different Kotai. So I missed the cut 5 times by 1 rank, infamously referred to as something called the McGinty cut, which is, where you miss the cut. Anyway, so like I said, it's a small scout rush deck. It's supposed to be super fast. And so that means I will be running it out of 7 Seas Port. Seas Port. And fast. There you go. Alright. So, 7 Seas Port. And let's just go ahead and get started. We always want to start with our personalities. Personalities, Mantis. Oh, wow. That's a lot of personalities that are 4 gold costs or less. So, just get started very quickly. Now, this deck is going to rely, I can already tell this deck is going to heavily rely on Fate, because the Dynasty is not going to do anything. I'm not putting her in because she has a 4 honor requirement, and she's just going to sit in the province and not come out. Gotta keep a lookout. It's not just mindlessly throwing in cheap people, even though that's how it might seem. So right away, I'm also noticing that, let's turn this down a little bit. So right away, I'm noticing there's a decent collection of scouts in here. Fast, cheap, and quick. And the great thing about this is that right away you get a recon action, and so that means that any scouts or fate cards that require reconnaissance, you've got it right away, just right at the start. So I'm liking these force to gold ratios. It also splashes in naval, and so that means that I think this is when the rules for naval changed, and it's not that every personality and follower had to have naval. It just means that you had to have more naval than your opponent. And typically that means that if you have 1 naval card, you're good. All right. Man. Ranged attack. Crazy good force to gold ratio there. And this is just to make sure that I cannot type. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way up to 24 personalities. 3. Oh no, she doesn't come in. She's got that 4 honor requirement. I knew something wasn't right. Like I said, I want 24. So, all right. Sure. Very quickly moving on to holdings. You do not want 5 gold cost holdings. Okay. So that's a little bit disappointing. Let's see. Oh, costs. Mantis. Aha! Nope. Drifting sounds. Whoops. That goes here. Not here. Happy 15th. Just draw a card. Nice. Found link. And the reason why I'm getting all this card draw is because how this deck works, I already know. You're going to buy 2 personalities turn 1. Make sure this prophecy draws my card. Nope. I don't want to do anything to help my opponent, so that's why I just said no to that. A weapon or armor into play from his hand at turn. Maybe. This is a maybe. It helps my opponent, but it should be helping me a lot more. And because of the speed of this particular deck, I cannot afford to have Lightwater Bay. And nope. Nope. Alright, so anything that's going to give a force bonus. Lands, Heartlands. Yeah, that's cute. I actually might consider this. This is just a fun-looking region where you just create personalities. Ninjas. So. Nope. There it is, Private Shrine. I think I might put 3 of these in. Private Shrine. Basically, this is just... I'm just going to bow this. Give all my people +1 force. I'm not quite sure what the ratio of these should be. I just know that the deck needs to have a lot of quick, immediate force bonuses. Defending, nope. Nope. Each of your cards that is Courtier or Magistrate has +1 force. Again, this is unopposed force bonus. but I'm not really having a lot of quarters or magistrates. Shugenjas I've got some of, but quarters and magistrates not so much. If he is a scout or tactician. See, I might consider this, but then I can't have... Actually, you know what? No, because this only gives one personality plus one force. Whereas that other one, Private Shrine, can give two right away. So I need some more holdings. Oh, you know what? All I did was plus one force. Let's see what's going to give me plus two force. Give each of your opposed. I'll do a 3 force, and then that's it. Nope. But then the Private Shrine is good enough all on its own, so. Holdings. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Just because Mantis have the ability to create incidental force bonuses. Barley Farm, for me, I find it really hard to not slot in Barley Farm. I love the card. Nope. This is a maybe. So this is the only time this is good is when you are buying a personality. So I guess I can put in 2. Because, like, you buy a personality, and then you use this to buy a slightly more expensive personality. Doubt Collector. But I don't want 3 of them. Holy cow, I'm already at 40. Let's not go too hard on Artisan. Yeah. So these are just open slots. So I'm going to put a little space here. Collector. Expendable. So the reason why I'm putting this in is because I'm going to be swarming, and I'm going to be swarming so much that it doesn't really matter if I destroy a personality to draw a card. I experimented with this. This is actually, it seems good, but it's actually not very good. After it did, blackest strings. You know, I think I'm actually pretty much done. I think I might be done with my holdings. You don't really need a lot of holdings. But one of the things I was always angry about was that how can you have Barley Farm and not Large Farm? And AEG finally got around to fixing that. I don't remember a Large Farm being illegal in this set. But what do I know? My memory's fuzzy. That's why we're reviewing the cards. And the thing is, gain 2. I think I don't think I need any more holdings. Resources. The thing is, I think, is that, try as I might, I'm actually not that great at building blitz decks. Jeez. Let's see. Actually, you know what? No. Mantis. Really? There's one strategy. There's one strategy in all of Celestial that keys off of Mantis. Wow. There we go. This is a maybe because it's only one force. Holy smokes! This is really good. Seas lightning. It's like, but it's only if you're opposed, but that's okay. If your person is challenged and he has a based ranged attack ability. That's just a free kill if someone wants to duel me, but I... Actually, you know what? No, because none of my people have based ranged attacks. So I'm putting in Determinate Force just because it's one of those cards with multiple abilities, and there's no reason not to put it in because this deck is all about fate. So I'm putting in Endless Rain in case, like, let's say I declare an attack against, like, a crane, and they try to chump block. I can still have a quick, easy way to kill them off for blocking me. I don't mind having the battle actions, but what I need is force bonus. Commander. Spirit. Paragon. I don't run Paragons. Honor. I thought there were more force bonuses in this. Don't get me wrong, I still want to have that mix of force bonuses and battle actions. But I'm just surprised that there's not more force bonuses. Normally, I would slot in outer walls and settling the homeless automatically, but this deck is all about attacking quickly and powerfully. So, but I expected there to be force bonuses in here, and I'm just not seeing them. I mean, I'm seeing ranged attacks. Spirit of the Scout. Once again, another non-force bonus card. Now, you might be asking why I don't look at deck lists, and there's two reasons. One, the CCG for Legend of the Five Rings has been dead for, I would say, at least 8 years, depending on what you consider, depending on your opinion. So the websites that would host the decks, etc., are mostly dead and gone now. So I'm just kind of, wow, there are so many ranged attacks. Okay. Oh, well, that's why there's so many ranged attacks. I was looking up ranged. Duh. I feel like an idiot. So my stronghold gives me automatic reconnaissance. So I'm just going to look for reconnaissance cards. About Scout. Because I always have reconnaissance, so I always get that little bonus. So I'm looking for a reconnaissance card that does not actually, that keys off reconnaissance, but not necessarily scouts. Scout. Scout. Or I could put a little bit more of a focus on scouts. Actually, you know what? No. I really need to double down and focus on force bonuses, because they're surprisingly few. And I thought there were a lot. Scout. Scout. Informing about Scout. This is kind of interesting, but I haven't actually, okay. My, stronghold gives force bonuses for scout followers, so, holy smokes. Scout followers are expensive. This is not something I would have expected. The question is, am I willing to put in scouts that cost more than 2? Doesn't hurt to look. Like, the scouts aren't bad, but there's a huge difference between so the difference between 2 gold cost and 3 gold cost is pretty big. So I really want to put in some of these 3s. Because my stronghold always gives me reconnaissance. I was kind of... I'm going to check again. Maybe I missed something. Actually, you know what? Maybe. Okay. No items that key off Scout. That's pretty new. This is harder than I thought. Really? Wow. Looks like the only time I'm going to get a force bonus is if I'm willing to pay for it. And by the way, again, maximum of 2 gold cost, minimum of 2 force. That's a pretty good ratio. I could put... So when it comes to the followers and items I'm putting in, I want to make sure they have some sort of battle action because I'm paying for them. This person without an attachment. But I am saying you get what you pay for. Blade. I think my problem is strategies. I need to look through my strategies again. Let's see. Celestial. Alright. That works. That works. Tree. 1, 2, 3. Peasant. After battle resolution, if this card is at the current... So you just destroy it regardless? No thanks. Straighten him, scout. Bow this personality, straighten him. Whatever. I didn't expect there to be so much scout focus, and I don't like that, because I need to be able to do anything at any time, regardless of what happens in my fate. Now, the reason why I'm more heavily emphasizing items as opposed to followers or spells is because, one, with spells, I have to have a Shugenja. And whereas with items, they're pretty much universal depending on the item. Move this unit home. If it moves, straighten it. Huh. Okay. Okay. Crap. Crap. So, Surprising Resistance and Order to Retreat are two great cards. I'm going to look through the items one more time. So I put Keenblade in. Sharpened Naginata is already in. Peasant Armor is horrible. I might have to put in Stormforged Blade. That's 12 attachments. Okay, here we go. Bonus. Force bonuses. I did not know a Pure Heart came out in this set. That's a good card for Battle Bands. Features are opposed. Nope. Assets. Ninja. Give your target personality +2 force. Yeah, so this is unopposed force bonus. And that's what we want. Inspired Devotion. Oh, wait, no, it says choose your performing Yojimbo. Never mind. Right. Building this deck is harder than I thought. Duelist. And you may bow him. Yeah, see. One to. Yeah. Nope. Defending Duelist. Monko Shujinja. Where are the force bonuses at? Huh. Maybe I should just put in more attachments. Death Seekers. Yeah, this goes in. Sorry. Still just focused on trying to find some good force bonuses in here. So the reason why this benefits me more than it would benefit my opponent is because I'm spamming and pumping out personalities. Cheap. 2 personalities a turn, maybe more. Whereas my opponent is only getting 1 personality per turn. So in general, I'm getting +2 force, and they're getting only +1. I might consider putting in Sedan Sanzo as well, but I just can't do it. This is worth considering as well, but I'm not sure, so I'm putting this standard wave. I don't really have that many personalities I'm pretty confident about. Especially because this has to be opposed, and everybody knows that blocking in Legend of the Five Rings is a death wish, unless that's part of your deck design. And there's no doubt about this one, though. Training maneuvers. Alright. Ring of Earth. Perfect. 3 rings of Earth. Ha! Imagine. Oh, wait a minute. I'm actually over. This ring. I might consider Ring of Water as well. Yeah, so far, well, and the reason why I was able to build this deck so quickly is just because, well, there's not much to it, to be honest. Hold on. Division of 1, Target Duelist. I kind of want to put this in. This is one of those cards that I really like, but could never slot in. Shivering Tattoo. Oh yeah, Phantom Blade Kata should go in every Blitz deck. And I say that unironically, of course. Now you might say, hey, that's a pretty high cost to discard a card and discard a card, create a weapon. Yeah. This is why you have to make sure you balance between creating personalities and having the ability to remove presence from the game. Actually, you know what? Let's call that a day. Now let's fix this thing up nice and pretty. That's a Full Metal Alchemist reference. Pretty lame one, but it's one all the same. And that is when what's his name, Armstrong. He says he wants to fix. Armstrong wants to fix Alphon's armor, but Ed is like, no, only I can do it. It's my burden, and only I know how. You are gone. And that's just because I don't want to have 46 cards. 43 is I'll take it, but I don't have to like it. 46, that's too much. And one more. And that's just because I just want these things to be even. All right. Scout. Fast. Table. Force bonus. All right. Part 2, I can do this really quick. Hold on. I'm moving this off to my other monitor. What was the name of this? Stout. Stout Scouts. 7 C's. Whoa. So this is going to be a Celestial Edition deck. Order keep. Bamboo. Harvesters. Alright, let's just get started with our people. Wait a minute. Hold on. There's something I want to check right at the last minute. How many non-humans are in the Mantis clan during Celestial? Who are cheap? The question is, if I slot him in, then I would have enough to pay for Oblivious. And Oblivious is a great card. Actually, aha! Yep. I'm slotting in Pokubo. And I'm also slotting in Oblivious. Now, I know Suzuki Eita. Iwata. No. Sabu. So to slot in Pokupo, I am squeezing out Moshi Kamiya. And Oblivion, or Oblivious, is really good. Bow 2 non-humans and just destroy a card. Which is great because I'm blitzing people. Alright, holdings. Tree. Large. Expendable. So I can tell that already, though, that this deck is going to need some revisions. And that's just because I need to determine when do I buy a holding. When do I buy? I mean, first turn you always buy 2 personalities. Now, just keep in mind, my Dynasty deck is actually only 42 cards. Because Border Keep and Bamboo Harvester, I just start off with those in play. So they don't really count. And that's why my Dynasty is a little bit bigger. Alright. Let's see. Laying. Wait. Strategic. Imperial. There we go. No hope. Reverse. Phantom Blade. Phantom Blade Kata really is just an amazing card. And it's just because, let's say you just have garbage in your deck, or you have fate cards that do not apply to the deck you're facing off against. What you can do is just discard a card and get a 2-force weapon. But it doesn't cost you any gold. All it costs you is a fate card. And that's great because, you know, you weren't going to use that card anyway because it was not applicable to the clan you were facing. I did not appreciate it when it first came out, but now that I'm a little bit wiser with some more experience, I have a better understanding of how great that card is. Did I miss something? Yeah, I missed a bunch of fake cards. Celestial. Earth. Like, somehow I missed Sharpen Naginata. No, not Resilient Naginata. Oh. Naginata. This track slaps. It's fucking amazing. I have one too many fake cards. No, I don't. It's 43 and my spreadsheet says 43. Alright, there you go. We're just going to go ahead and start testing this right away. So again, first turn you bring out 2 personalities. And so in situations like this, I would imagine next turn, I have to be prepared to bring in 2 more personalities. Now, actually, in this scenario, because I only have 2, you see that red square, the number 2? That's my starting personal honor. At 2, that means I'm going to go second most of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and grab... Where is it? Where is it? Bamboo Harvester. Oh well. This is just a test run anyway. One, two, three, four, five, 6. In Celestial, you start with 6 cards, and then your first card you draw should be 7. So I need to have 7 cards in hand, because you start with 6, not 5. So we'll just assume that I go first. Target a province, your Mantis clan personalities, and your Scout followers have +1 force. Oh, I forgot to put in Oblivion. So, is he a Scout? He's a Scout, and he's a commander. But he's naval, so that means I get to go first. So I'm going to recon and target a province. My Mantis and Scout followers will get +1 force. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how the blitz works. I am going to go ahead. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pretend that we are doing an attack phase, and my opponent doesn't block because I have too much force. So I will bring into play and I take the province. So I will use my stronghold to buy the archery range, and then I draw a card. And you, As an additional cost of any you entering play, either remove a card in your hand from the game or destroy one of your sake tokens. I do not need the force because I have enough force, so I can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the game to bring him in to play as an additional cost. His gold cost is 2. At 2 less, his gold cost is 0, so he just comes into play. I'm going to discard that. So again, you buy 2 personalities turn 1, and that helps facilitate the blitz. You have to have a good mix of force bonuses. So this is great because I have 3 personalities. Battle this card, give all your honorable personalities at the current battlefield +1 force or +2 if it's at this province. So right away that's +3 naked force, in addition to the force bonuses that are in my hand. If my opponent blocks me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ranged attacks to remove their presence. That was a successful. That was a success. That first test. So again, try again. Now it's important to point out he's not a scout and no naval, so there's no naval here. So, if this is your first turn, put 1 or more cards in your provinces at the bottom of your deck, refilling the provinces face up. So I'm getting rid of everything because these holdings, in the grand scheme of things, don't matter that much. What matters is making sure I get 2 personalities. And neither one of them is naval, so that makes me sad, Panda. This is a failure, and so I have to reassess if I need to put in more naval, because that naval means that if my opponent dares to block me, I range attacks would allow me to remove their presence. So it doesn't really matter whether I take the province or not. What matters, oh yeah, I lose 2 honor for bringing him into play. But what matters is, so this is a failure test because I didn't have a naval personality. So again, that's something I need to take into consideration when it comes to deck rebuilding. So he's naval, and he's naval. So again, these are pretty much the same personality. 3 force, 2 chi, 5 gold cost, 1 person honor. 3 force, 2 chi, 4 gold cost, 1 person honor. Oh wait, but he has a self-destruct condition. Actually, his self-destruct condition hardly ever goes off. So again, turn 1, buy 2 personalities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In Celestial, you start with 6. So, target a province. Your Mantis clan personalities and scout followers have +1 force while at that province's battlefield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. +1 force 7. +1 force is 8. Without any support whatsoever, I have the condition necessary to take a province. If my opponent blocks me, I have 1. 2, 3 ranged attack abilities. And then, if I would like, I have the ability to get some attachments. So, unlike previously, I can go ahead and buy this guy, even though he's not naval. And I'm also going to buy this holding, because I do have quite a few ranged attack abilities. So I attack, I take the province, because blocking is a death sentence in Legend of the Five Rings. And I bring him into play, because he just has a little bit more force, and getting that holding allows me to pull out of my fate a little bit more. I might consider pulling out Poku, just because he's not naval, and my deck is already tight as it is. So that's something I'm probably going to do right now. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to take out Poku. He's cheap, but he's still not naval, and I'm seeing just how important that naval component is. So, Kanaya, you're back in. I also need to Celestial Infantry. I did not know heavy infantry came back in this set, and it's only 7 gold cost. It used to be 8. But more importantly, where is that light infantry? So these guys come out just because it's slightly different than the one that's legal for Celestial. That's something you have to keep track of. So that's why we test. So that Pokupo, or whatever the goblin was, not quite good enough to be in the deck. And look, Kamaya already making a presence. Yeah. Bring her in. She's 3 force. She's still boxable. And I'll bring him in. Oh, and again, you start with 6, not 5. Alright, so again, we use our Stronghold ability, target the opponent's provinces. All my Mantis will have +1 force. So that's 1, 2, 3, +1 is 4. He has 1 force. He has +2 allied battlefield with province was targeted by a reason. So he's 1, 2, 3, and then the recon itself gives him +1. So already I have the conditions necessary to take a province. I have 8 force. And I can now discard cards to increase that force by 2. So let's just say I discard this Spirit Sword. And we'll put it on Kamaya. And the reason why I'm doing that is very subtle. It's because you'll notice that I have several cards that key off Samurai and Scout. She is neither Samurai nor is she a Scout, so she needs to have something else that gives her an edge. Plus, now that she's a little bit bigger, my opponent is prone to attack her, leaving this smaller guy who still can use Samurai and Scout abilities. I'm thinking about taking out the Seize Lightning, And that is because it doesn't actually help me win the opposed battle. And that's a very big deal. I have to be able to win the opposed battle. And Seize Lightning does not do that for me. Does not help me win if somebody blocks me. So yeah, turn 1, I take the province. I don't have the ability to bring in 2 personalities, but that's okay. Because I already have the conditions necessary to take a province. So again, I can declare this to make another spirit sword. So again, I'm moving the spirit sword over here because you might not know it, but he is actually the most important personality of these 3 because he has Scout. So I want to distract and divert attention away from him so that my opponent, if they do decide to target someone, targets one of these 2 cards. Let's just do one more test and then we'll be done. I will consider the deck generally a success. So again, 6 cards. Actually, you know what? Regardless of what happens, I do need to replace Seize Lightning. So this is a rare instance where I can bring in 3 personalities turn 1. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. She's not naval. She's not naval. And this thing's not naval. So he's going to stay. Again, first turn, so I'm going to discard cards. Put them on the bottom of my deck and reveal face up. Holy crap. But it's okay. I have a Naval Scout Samurai. Actually, you know what? No, it's not okay. So singular just means I can only have 1 in play. I already have my 1, so when these 2 get revealed, they don't flip. So Border Keep has another ability. Once per game, put 1 or more of your cards in your provinces at the bottom of your deck, refilling the provinces face up. So I'm using my once per game now. This actually does not go off right now because it's an event and we are not in the events phase. So, but I'm still going to leave it there because it helps me draw a card. So that's going to come in. This is going to be removed from the game. Oops. I meant to remove from the game, not create a clone. Stop being wonky. Deck, please. There we go. So it's removed from the game as part of the cost of bringing him into play. Pay 2 gold to bring in that holding. It's not ideal. I would have much rather have had 3 personalities, but 2 is still the baseline. Alright. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to bow this. I have 6, 7. And then discard a card to have 7, 8. So Festival of Foundling, I draw a card. I bring in to play Phantom Blade Kata. I discard a card to Phantom Blade Kata to create a Spirit Sword. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bow this to get 7, 8. Oh, 9. 9 fours. 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, I did my math all wrong. It's 11 fours, not 9 fours. The important thing is, I will be able to bring into play Ring of Earth. And so this was a successful test. And then I'll bring him in for full... He's 4 gold cost. My Stronghold produces 4. So I'll gain a little bit of honor as well, to help protect me from dishonor. Yeah, so overall I would say that I need to replace the Seize Lightning or whatever for just about anything else. Actually, you know what? I don't need to be fancy about this. Actually, no. I was going to put in Ruthless Advance, but that's not so great. I would put in Arrows Do Not Falter, because it's great. But none of my personalities actually have a base ranged attack. So the reason why I'm choosing just flat out destroy as opposed to a ranged attack is because sometimes your opponent is just immune to ranged attacks. And so you just have to flat out destroy. And I'm looking for a good flat out destroy card. Holy smokes. Choose your performing unbound personality. Bow all cards. Hold on, there's something else I want to take into consideration. Reduce. Hold on. I want to see if there's something that makes attachments cheaper. Wait a minute. There has to be a way to reduce the gold cost of items and followers or whatever. Hold on. I need to check the wording on something to find what I'm looking for. Less gold. Less gold is the keyword I'm looking for, the phrase. Less gold. Less gold. Less gold. This isn't quite going the way I thought. Gold. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. Conscript troops is really good. This might be what I'm looking for. Conscript troops. The only problem is I do not have a lot of commanders in my deck. I actually might consider putting in Daikoku's Guidance, and that's because it's it just comes into play. You know what? I'm so used to not designing with Celestials in mind. As opposed to these holdings. No. Because what would I take out to put that in? But yeah, Daikoku's Guidance, really good. Now, this isn't going quite the way I would have expected. Minimum of 1. Or I could just remove the 3 cards, and then that would lower my deck down to 40 cards. I might just do that. Secluded Outpost is such a bad card in my opinion. Oh my gosh. Wait, I searched for Mantis and I didn't find this card. Did I search for Mantis holdings? Yeah, I did, and this just didn't show up. So you might think this is a good card, but it's actually not. This is also another amazing card, but you have to be opposed. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and just remove the 3 cards without replacing them. I mean, the Seas Lightning looks good at first, but it's actually not so hot. Where are you, Seas Lightning? So now, 40 cards. Yeah. There you go. Alright, testing done. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.